Hi everyone, and welcome to Rum Runner Dance. I'm Dan Genovese. Today we're making a classic tiki cocktail, the Merciless Virgin.
Oh, blow the man down, bullies, blow the man down. Give me way, blow the man down. Blow the man down, bullies, blow him away. Give me some time to blow the man down. We went over the bar on the 13th of May.
Today's cocktail is the Merciless Virgin and comes to us from Frank Skipper Kent from Skipper Kent's in San Francisco, California. I thumbing through Martin and Rebecca Cate's Smuggler's Cove, came across this, never had it before. I heard the Merciless Virgin, it's really, really cool. There's a lot of different things about it. There's a lot of different tiki mugs that were made about it. And actually there's a lot of cool backstory behind it too, because it originally was like an unpublished cocktail that eventually came to be, and then Martin and Rebecca Cate kind of adapted it and then put it into their book. So I'm making their version of it, the way that they have it in their book today. So as with all of my tiki drinks, I shouldn't say all, I should say most tiki drinks, we're going to be doing them inside of a drink mixer here. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to notice here is I'm going to be using a new jigger. Well, depends upon when you're watching my show, because if you're watching this like a while and you just watch a bunch of shows here, it's going to look new if you watch them in order. If this is your first episode, this is just the jigger I'm using, so let me explain. The Cruise Supply Company, who also makes these awesome bottles that I use, sent me a nice little care package, and it included this jigger. And the reason why I want to mention this jigger is I am not a fan of the Japanese style jiggers, which this is. But the reason I like this so much is, unlike most jiggers I was able to find, this has an 1/8 of an ounce measurement in it, which is awesome. So this goes from an 1/8 of an ounce, quarter, half, 3/4, 1 ounce on this side, and then you get 1.5 ounces and 2 ounces on this side. I love it. I really, really like the feel of it, the weight in the hand, and it looks really nice. I love the color on it. So Cruise Supply Company, check the link below, check out them, and you can get some of their awesome bottles, which is our first ingredient we're going to be using. This is lemon juice. We're going to use 3/4 of an ounce. Next, we're going to put in some bubble water, sparkle water, seltzer water, club soda, anything you want to call it. Really what you're looking for here is a carbonated plain water, no sodium added, ideally. I am using Pellegrino, and I'm saying no sodium added. This has a little bit, but I happen to have this on hand. Works out nice, I love it. This is 1/2 an ounce. This is one of the reasons why I love using drink mixers as opposed to tins when mixing up some tiki cocktails, because especially when you're using carbonated ingredients, sometimes the pressure tends to build up and they could explode or separate. You don't have that problem in a drink mixer tin. Next, we're going to go with dry curacao. I love Pierre and Fernand's dry curacao. You don't have to use this kind. You can use any one that you like. Just make sure you're using a high quality one. I know of no better or higher quality one than this, so this is the one I always use. You're going to need 1/4 of an ounce here. Okay. Next, we need John D. Taylor's Velvet Falernum. You can use any kind of Falernum that you like. Martin and Rebecca Cate's original recipe call for this one specifically. I like it, and to be honest with you, I'm not about making it. I make too many things already. I'm not going to make Falernum too. This one you need 1/2 an ounce. For those of you that make it and enjoy doing it, excellent. I make all my own syrups. When it comes to the Falernum, I'm a little scared to try that one. Next one we are going to use is an ingredient we used before. We actually used it in an episode. I'll put a little card to it right here, known as the ankle breaker, where we introduced and started using this, where this ingredient appears in Tiki, I think a little bit more than other types of cocktails that I've encountered. This is known as cherry Heering, or Heering, depends upon which Google page that you go to and listen to them talk. I'm thinking it's Heering, but some people said in Dutch it's Heering. From anybody who happens to be, who speaks Dutch, if you can please correct me if I'm saying it wrong, if it's Heering or Heering. But either way, you're going to need a half an ounce of this. Now this liqueur, cherry liqueur, is not like Luxardo's maraschino cherry liqueur. This actually tastes just like a cherry itself, not the maraschino liqueur that is used, which is mostly made from pits of the cherries, as opposed to actually the fruit itself. All right, next thing that we're gonna need, we need rum. One of my favorite rums. It's just, all you need is a lightly aged rum. So what'll work here? A Bank 3 or 5 would work. Denison 3 would work great here. Eldorado 3 works really good here. Appleton Estate Signature, good stuff. This works really good here. There's a few others that you can use too. Pick the one that you like the best. I like a little bit of the Jamaican rum when it comes to this drink. So anytime that it says lightly aged, I always go with Jamaican. Don't know why, it's just kind of the way it ends up happening. So Appleton Estate Signature, we're going to use 1.5 ounces. That takes care of our ingredients. I'm going to wipe my hands off here a little bit. And then what we're going to do is grab our ice. So we're going to need 12 ounces of crushed ice here. Into our drink mixer tin. I have to say, this smells so good. I haven't had it before, so I never had this one, but so far, it smells good. We're gonna flash blend it for about 4 seconds. All right, next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our Woodrow coaster, Amazon store link below. You can pick these up, help support the show. And now I'm gonna pick up, you guys heard me talk about pie-eyed tikis a lot. So pie-eyed tikis, husband and wife ceramicist team, Jason and Nell from down in Central Florida. They make these kick-ass mugs. Follow them online. Also, favorite their Etsy store. And you can get links to all that. Just look for pie-eyed tikis. I'll put a link to his Instagram page below. So we're gonna open pour all this right inside of there. Now this is about 12, maybe 14 ounces glass, which is perfect because originally this drink was supposed to be served in a Footed Pilsner glass. You can pick them up in my Amazon store if you want a glass and not a mug. I encourage you to get a 12 to 14 ounce mug, put it in there. We're gonna fill this up with crushed ice. All right, that's all we need. Next, we gotta garnish this guy up. Garnish on this is really simple, so I'm just gonna do the simple garnish, which involves a pick that I'm going to use from Andrew Jordan at Surfside Sips, link below. Grab anything that he makes, all reusable glass straws, glass swizzles, glass, oh he has cutting boards. Also has amazing glass picks, and I have a bunch from him. They're all really, really, really cool. So I'm just gonna put a couple of maraschino cherries here together, kind of just lay that right there over the top. I like to do that. And now I need an awesome straw for this. Which one am I gonna do? I'm gonna do a new one that I got from him. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna change it up a little bit. See if that guy will fit. I think I'll make him fit. All right, this These are cool straws. They're special straws that he released for a short amount of time. These are pufferfish straws. So to give you guys an idea about how he made this is all the piece of glass tube that he starts with to make the straw. Then he heats this up and makes this ball from this glass. So you can imagine how long, difficult that is. Then he puts the little tiny pieces on it, puts the little tail onto it, puts the little eyes and face onto it. So you got yourself a little pufferfish guy. Love these straws. I just got a couple of them and absolutely love them. I think they're one of the best things. Actually, I want you to see me drink through it to see how it works. So there you have it, everyone. That is a Skipper Kent original, adapted by Smuggler's Cove, the Merciless Virgin. Let's give it a taste for the first time. So first, before I get into the drink, it's super cool to drink through these straws because it's almost like when you're drinking through it, it fills up, so it kind of bubbles a little bit inside of there until it fills it up. It's just kind of fun. It reminds me of blowing bubbles in your milk when you were a kid, or blowing bubbles through a straw when you were a kid and you used to get yelled at. I used to love doing that. So, but it's kind of meant to do that, so it brings me back to my childhood a little bit. It's funny. But the drink, it's good. It's pretty good. It's a lot more cherry forward than I thought it would end up being. Now, I've never had this drink before, so I'm going to kind of talk to you a little bit around some of the tasting notes that I have. So the first taste that you get is super cherry, very, very cherry. And yeah, cherry. You do get the rum flavor. So I think I like a Jamaican for this. I don't think I would like this if it wasn't a good, lightly aged, strong flavored rum. So I would think you would want a Plantation 3-star, Denison 3. You definitely like the Appleton Estate Signature. Those are good rums to pick for this drink. I wouldn't get one that's a little bit lighter in flavor because it might get drowned out by this cherry. But this stands up pretty nice to it. Now, it's not is only the predominant flavoring component, it also is pretty sweet, so it sweetens this up. The thing that kind of gets a little bit muddled here for me is the Curacao and the Falernum. Falernum, so you know, has a slight citrus note to it and some spice note to it. So you should be getting some spice and some citrus. Sweet as well. And the Curacao, especially Pierre and Fernand's, is cognac based. So you should get some kind of cognac flavor or something like that. Some kind of like a brandy type flavor into it. And especially that orange flavor that comes through. And then the citrus component in here is just to brighten it up, just so you can get a citrus component. Just gonna take one more sip here. Okay, when I'm thinking about the flavor of the Curacao and I'm tasting it, I taste it. On the first sip, it predominantly was cherry and rum, and that was it. So I really couldn't tell. I could tell there was citrus in there, but it was cherry and rum. I couldn't tell that either one of these are in here. Discerning and tasting and looking for all the flavors, you taste it, but it doesn't come through super strong. Overall, I'll give this a rum runner rating. So on a scale of 5, right? I think I'm gonna give this about a 3.5. So it's a solid drink to go and drink. You're gonna love it. It's tasty. It's a good sipper drink. You're gonna enjoy it. If you like cherry. If you're not a cherry fan, this is not a good drink for you. And while you're waiting for the next video to come out, why don't you check out these other videos that I have down here? We have tons of them coming out, and we also have a bunch already that are out there around classic cocktails, original cocktails by me, and of course, Tiki. Thank you all so much, and until next time, everybody, Cole Maluna.